Where do I start? Welcome to my humble abode. Is it a humble abode or humble abode? This is just a quick little update, which probably won't be quick. I think I kind of lost my motivation and it started to affect my mood too much that I just didn't want to look at the numbers, my measurements, my weight. For the Christmas, New Year, ate whatever I wanted, but just mindfully, sometimes not mindfully, sometimes emotionally, sometimes just mindlessly, and stuff my feelings of winter blues. I was working a stressful job at the time, doing night shifts, and I just didn't have the motivation to do any, well, I don't want to say any self-care because I was still very, very committed to my therapy and my healing. But when it came to diet, I would do the bare minimum for maybe, I don't know, 50% of the time. And as the weeks went on, I realised it's been about a month and I haven't worked out. The most I've done is just steps, and although that's great, the way I was going, it wasn't good. I don't know exactly how much I weighed, but I know that my clothes were tighter and I just wasn't feeling good, felt bloated, and I could tell I'd gained weight around my legs, around my stomach. I just want to emphasize here that I was physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted. I was working as a healthcare assistant with vulnerable people, which can be quite challenging at times. I decided to take measures to reduce the stress in different ways. I was just reaching burnout, to be honest, because I was taking on too much. I was also volunteering at the same time. I was doing acting classes, and I reached a point where I couldn't maintain what I was doing, and at the same time I was literally, when I wasn't working or sleeping to catch up, or you can't really catch up with sleep, but when I wasn't resting, I was applying to jobs, job searching, just trying to get by, honestly. And obviously that affected my mood, that affected my ability to prepare healthy food. I would opt for easier things, like one of my go-tos was toast and egg. The fresh stuff just didn't appeal to me. Unfortunately, it just didn't. I fell into bad habits again. But eventually I did secure a new job, and that changed things for me significantly, and it's made a huge difference. But I can say that I've lost the weight now. My clothes are feeling, sorry, let me just get comfortable. My clothes are starting to feel normal again, the way they did before. What has changed the most? I don't feel as stressed when I'm meal planning what I'm going to eat that week. I have certain recipes I really like to rotate. I don't feel like it's a drag. I feel like it's very natural. It's very congruent with me, if that makes sense. What I mean by this is I kind of reached this point where I felt like the identity I had when I've been losing weight, shifting into this sort of fitness era, trying to sculpt my body in this physical way. I felt like for years I have been on this yo-yo up and down kind of struggle with my appearance and my weight. For the first time, I'm starting to connect with this version that I had created in my mind. So I had created this version of me that was super active, that was healthy weight, that was toned, who was lean and strong. I started to feel aligned to that identity, if that makes sense. I felt like I wasn't chasing this higher level me. I was that person. When you're on any sort of journey, when you're changing yourself for the better, it's almost like there's this disconnect between who you are now and who you want to be. There's lots of people that talk about this, like David Goggins. He talked about him being David, and then he created this identity of being Goggins. I guess what I'm trying to say is I no longer feel like I'm chasing something. I feel like I am that already. So along with that, I was very much inspired by these boot camp episodes that I saw on YouTube. I came across these, what are they called? Lose the Last 10 Pounds, or the Last 10 Pounds boot camp, and I used to watch this years ago. The whole point of me bringing this up is I was inspired to attend a boot camp. Now that's something that just excites me. It just sounds amazing. Like, imagine getting up early every day. This sounds crazy saying this out loud. I would think old version of Sonam would have been like, that does not sound like fun, why would you want to do that? But right now I would love to wake up early, do an intense workout, then you have your breakfast, and then you have another workout, and then you have a snack, and then another workout, your lunch, then you work out again, and then you have an afternoon snack, and then you work out again, and then you have dinner, and in the evening you relax relax and like you have a massage or like spa treatment and everything. Oh, it just sounded amazing. And I thought, oh, this sounds so fun. I would love to do that. So I started looking at boot camps in the UK. I don't want to travel far, so I was looking for boot camps in Scotland and I found some, but they are expensive. If I had the luxury, I would 100% do it, but I have other financial goals right now and it's just not possible. I think the most affordable one that I could find was like 850. That's like the lowest price that I could find, and that was for like 5 days or 7 days. To be fair, it's pretty good in the sense that you get all your meals, you get accommodation, you get treatment and stuff like that. I just don't have the luxury to do that. And then I thought, well, why don't I just create my own boot camp? And so I did. I have been doing that for the past month, I think 6 weeks now. I literally built myself up. So I would go, I think I started off by going 3 days a week with days in between to recover and rest, and then built my momentum up to go 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, and then twice a day, depending on my rota work pattern, because sometimes I'm working 11 till 8 p.m. and then other days I'm 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. That's what I've been doing, and I have felt like this mental shift, and I just feel like I'm connecting to my inner child self, because I've been doing my therapy alongside this fitness and weight loss journey for years. Even before I started posting these videos on YouTube, I was doing my therapy, and personal and with a therapist as well, because I'm very passionate about healing and understand who you are now and learning about myself and why I am the way I am. I just find it so fascinating. Human beings are so fascinating. My relationship with food was entangled with past traumas. I don't want to go too deep into this sphere of pain and unpleasantness, but to keep it simple and to mention an example, I was bullied into my teens where my sense of self and identity was being shaped. So I held on to a lot of these limiting negative self-beliefs that were holding me back. Whenever I was in a situation that reminded me of past traumas, my body would instantly just tighten and react, and I would just kind of shut off and freeze. And that's something that I have came to acknowledge and become conscious of since doing somatic therapeutic work. I've also realized in certain situations when I'm faced with stresses, my window of tolerance in certain areas is quite low. I'll give you an example. One day at work, I was faced with a high target. It looked like I wasn't going to meet it. So I started to stress and panic. And I thought, okay, I could really use something to eat. And then I noticed that thought and I thought, wait, what? You just had lunch like an hour ago. You're physically still full, but you're wanting something to eat. You're not actually hungry. I think you're stressed right now and you're wanting food to soothe yourself, to make yourself feel better or to distract yourself. And then I thought, okay, let's focus back to the work at hand. Did that, and then I got that feeling again. This time I never noticed the thought. I noticed myself moving towards the kitchen. So I was like, wait, where am I going? Or I would go to the kitchen and open the fridge and just look around, and then I'd be like, what am I doing? You know, because that behavior was so automatic that my body was responding before my mind was even conscious, because I was elsewhere in my thoughts, thinking about, okay, I need to get this done by this time or whatever, you know? So that was really interesting to observe. Those are a few highlights that I've noticed. I've just been eating a lot more whole foods, finding ways to make them taste good, that I enjoy them. I find that in the afternoon when I want to pick me up, something sweet, I make sure that there's a bowl of fruit already washed, chopped up, whether it's apples, grapes, cherry tomatoes as well, nuts, stuff like that, just ready so that when the hunger hits, it's just sitting there and I just munch on it and it's really good. And I also have like sugar-free sweets, which is nice sometimes, or diet Pepsi. I like Pepsi Max more. So, wow, Sonam, you should really do your hair before you go on the internet. But I just wanted to upload an update honestly, because it's been too long. Well, I'm looking over at my schedule. I've got this whiteboard in my room, and on there every week I have been writing down the workouts that I'm going to do. So today is actually Wednesday, and this morning I went to this 45-minute strength workout, and it was full body. We did squats, lunges. I hate lunges, but I'm getting better at them, so I'm actually kind of starting to like them, which is weird to say, but I still mostly hate them. We did squats, we did dead pulls. Dead pulls, is that what you call them? And overhead lifts with the bar. I am starting to notice that I sweat now when I'm doing weights, which is something that's never happened to me. I was able to push 10 kilos above my head. And I'm really proud of myself because I couldn't do that before. That's an indication that I'm getting stronger. So instead of looking at my weight and my measurements, I am now looking at how I'm improving in each workout. Am I able to lift more? Am I able to maintain the same weight? Am I able to hold the weight longer, etc., you know? Ultimately, just showing up. That is enough. How I feel on week 1 of the month is very different to how I might feel at week 4. It's really important to keep that in mind as well. And I really love spin classes. Spin classes are amazing. I love that euphoric sweat. By the end of the class, I always leave just feeling so good. It's like this endorphin hit. And I know it's been a great class if I'm dripping of sweat. Yeah. I just built myself up. Like, I was so weak. Like 6 weeks ago, I struggled, for sure. I struggled. I really did struggle, but now I'm able to push one of the heaviest resistances on the spin bike, which is 5. Whereas before I wasn't able to do that. Like 6 weeks ago, I could not do that for like longer than 5 seconds. Granted, it's not super fast, but like I'm still able to push like the spin bike. But as for the weight, the scales are just, I'm not a fan of them. I think they're useful, but I just don't see them showing any progress for me. My clothes are looser, but the scale's saying either it's going up or down because of my water weight. Because I'm sweating so much every day going to the gym, I go minimum 6 days a week. I literally do an exercise every single day, 7 days a week. On the last day of the week, Sundays, I usually go ice skating instead of the gym, and then I try and get steps in, but my steps haven't been consistent. I have not been doing 10k. I've not been doing 5k consistently. I don't even think. I haven't been wearing my stepwatch, so I don't know what my average steps are. Recently, I started wearing it to see, but since working from home, it's harder to get those steps in because you're sitting most of the time. But I did get a standing desk, which I might show you guys if you want to see it and give you a review of it. I love it so much. It's made such a difference to the way my back feels standing, because when you're sitting down, your spine is just compressed and your shoulders are kind of compressed. Even if you try and sit up, it still affects you after like an 8-hour day, you know? That is really nice. I like to sit for like an hour and then I stand for like an hour or two, and I just kind of rotate that way. I know for sure I'm going to get a walking pad, but I am thinking about which one to buy, so I'm still researching that. I'm excited about that because that's going to be a gift to myself because I'm turning 31. You guys, I'm getting a Costco cake for my 31st and I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. If you've not tried Costco cake, oh my goodness. It's like this gorgeous raspberry jam and butter inside. It's just fluffy, light, sweet, and it's just gorgeous. If you have any questions, please fire them my way. And thanks for watching. And I apologize for not posting for a long time. I'm trying to be better, but it's not easy. Anyway, have a lovely evening or day or morning or afternoon or wherever you are. And until next time, I'll catch you later.